I will bet you this Sacagawea dollar that you can't tell me in which congressional district Lewis and Clark ended their historic westward journey. Time's up. It was Oregon's 3rd, which times 7 makes it the subject of the 21st installment of our 433-part series, Better Know a District. Oregon's 3rd, the fighting 3rd. The 3rd is home to Mount Hood, the highest peak in Oregon. Its Timberline Lodge, familiar as the Overlook Hotel in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, is renowned for its restaurant dishes like cranberry sour cream muffins, roast venison, and of course, its delicious frozen Nicholson. The 3rd hosts a slew of cities with odd and interesting names like Bridal Veil, Government Camp, Zigzag, and Boring, which leads the nation in per capita consumption of khakis and manila envelopes. Portland was infamous in the late 1800s for its so-called Shanghai tunnels, in which men walking Portland streets would fall through trapdoors into the tunnels only to wake up sold to sea captains to work as slave labor. Today, Portland is known as the home of the microbrew revolution, where in a single evening, patrons can sample dozens of locally brewed beers and wake up the next morning to feel like they've been sold to sea captains to work as slave labor. Portland is also known as the Rose City, thanks to a climate ideal for cultivating roses and a citizenry with extensive experience cultivating other plants. And what congressman gets high on representing this liberal enclave? Far out! It's Democrat and bicycling enthusiast Earl Blumenauer. I recently sat down with Representative Blumenauer to rap about his district. Congressman, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
My pleasure.
Blumenauer, that's a German name, isn't it?
It is.
But you're a full-blooded American, right?
I have a birth certificate that proves I was born in this country.
Okay, so was Ava Braun. Ava Braun was born in Flint, Michigan.
Get out of here.
I will not get out of here.
New information for me.
Yep, isn't it? Okay. Tell me about the fighting 3rd.
It's livable, fun, and it's kind of innovative. It's a great place to represent.
Since you were elected to Congress in 1996, you visited more than 100 communities throughout the country, spreading your doctrine of livable communities. What to you is a livable community?
A livable community has a wide range of opportunities for people. Single-family dwellings, apartments, condominia.
Where does my Hummer fit into that?
In many livable communities, a Hummer would be illegal, and they're denied access to some neighborhoods.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're for ghettoizing certain people because of their cars?
Play by the rules. Yep.
Rosa Parks did not fight for my Hummer to have to go to the back of the bus. Right? Right.
Yes, that's...
Yes, okay.
We won't debate that.
Let's switch gears here for a second. Your obsession with bicycling borders on the interesting. What is it about bicycling that is it the efficiency?
Yes, actually. It's the most efficient form of urban transportation ever devised. And while we're traveling, we're not polluting the air. Mm-hmm. And so it's actually a way of dealing with global warming.
Which is a myth. Go ahead.
I take modest exception to the notion that global warming is a myth.
Oh, it's a legend.
As we watch our glaciers disappear on our mountains.
It's springtime, Congressman. Ice melts in the spring. I think you're being a little alarmist.
No, actually, in Oregon, we actually add snowpack in the spring.
So the glaciers aren't melting, they're actually getting bigger. You're kind of...
There is an annual cycle of ebb and flow.
Don't patronize me, Congressman. I understand. I don't actually understand.
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, go ahead.
The longer-term notion of where these glaciers used to come back, they don't. They're retreating. It's not just my district that's suffering it. It's a worldwide phenomenon.
All right. Would it be safe to say you're a liberal?
It depends on the issue. Because I'm also working with some of my more conservative friends to try and eliminate sugar subsidies. Is that liberal or conservative?
It's liberal.
You think?
I do.
Why?
Because you support it. Is it safe to say you're an America-hating terrorist lover hiding behind a stupid bow tie?
Actually, terrorism and keeping our country safe
is a conservative value.
Is something
Love it or leave it, stand by our president.
Oh,
What about you? Do you stand by the commander-in-chief in a time of war?
I have been consistently opposed to his war in Iraq, his mishandling of it.
So you don't care if we win or lose this war on terror?
That's not how we're going to win the war on terror.
But that's what you just said.
No, that's not.
Yes.
No, exactly not what I said.
You said you were against the war in Iraq.
I am against the war in Iraq.
Well, we're fighting them there so we don't have to fight them here.
We're fighting them there because we made it a haven for Al-Qaeda, and they weren't there before.
Are there terrorists fighting in the streets of Portland, Oregon right now? Yes or no, sir? Simple question.
There have not been terrorists fighting the streets of Portland, and
so it's working.
Has nothing to do with George Bush. We've been able to do it.
Oh, he just happens to be the president, and there happen to be no terrorists fighting in Portland. Has nothing to do with them. That's pretty selective in my fact gathering, isn't it?
Hard to know how to answer that.
Well, when you get nailed, it's hard to answer it all. Congressman, thanks for seeing it my way. Okay, let's put the third up on the big board. Beautiful. And to celebrate Better Know a District turning 21, we'll be getting it drunk and buying it a hooker.